advice on how the baby should be fed solid foods. The recommendation was that at 6 months, if the baby is exclusively breastfed, is when solid foods need to be started. So for the first 6 months of life, the baby should be on breastfeeding exclusively. However, if the baby's taking formula, or you really feel that you need to start the solid foods, you can go ahead and start. There is no good medical study that shows one way or the other. So typically, in my practice, I might start between 5 or 6 months of age, and we would go ahead and start with some rice cereal. 2 tablespoons of rice cereal, mix it in with 2 ounces of mother's milk or the formula, and start feeding the baby with a spoon. Let the baby get used to the texture of solid food. Let the baby get used to the concept of feeding with a spoon. Make sure the baby's sitting in an upright position at an angle, maybe in a feeding chair, and go ahead and feed the baby. If the baby does well after a few days, you can gradually increase the quantity as desired, or even increase the frequency of the feeding. So from 1 time a day, go to 2 times a day. After another week or so, if the baby's well settled with the rice cereal, you can go ahead and start some other baby foods. It's always better if you can make it yourself. It's more natural. It's probably organic. If you don't have time, and for convenience sake, you can take any of the jar foods. There are several brands out there, and you can take whichever one you prefer. So you can start off with applesauce, or bananas, or carrots, or squash. The most important cardinal rule is that you give one new thing every 4 or 5 days. So if a child has a reaction to any of the foods, you want to know about it. Reactions can include severe rashes, can include severe changes in bowel habits, like severe diarrhea, extreme colic. Those are the situations when you think that you should avoid that certain food that the child has been given. However, keep on trying and exploring with the baby the different types of foods that you eat. So if you want to make it yourself, that's always much better. Peel the apple, steam it, put it in the blender, make your own apple paste, and give it to the baby. You will feel involved in the feeding of the baby, as well as making of the food, and having a happier and healthier future. So go ahead and start with the baby the way you think you are more comfortable with, and gradually you want to get to a 3-meal-a-day pattern over the course of the few months. So you start off once a day, then go to twice a day, eventually 3 times a day, and then make sure that the baby eats with you, and you can have a happy family mealtime together.